Hey everybody, what's going on? Derek here from M1 Realty. It is my honor and privilege to have Brett Ratkowski on this chat with me. He is the owner and founder of Optimized Real Estate, a good friend of mine. And for my money, he's the number one in the space of Facebook marketing for the real estate niche. Thanks for joining me today, Brett. So without further ado, why don't you take it away? Let us know a little bit about what your company does and what you have going on.
Yeah, man. So first off, I want to appreciate you for the kind words. You know, number one is high up there. So for me, that means a lot. So let's take it back. So Optimized Real Estate, we help realtors, loan officers, mortgage brokers generate more leads, grow their brand consistently, scale their businesses. Essentially, what we have, and why Optimized Real Estate started is because that is what helped me grow and scale my real estate business from broke agent to, you know, doing 210,000 in GCI in 12 months. And so my vision was with Optimized Real Estate was to get the message out there, how to accurately and properly do Facebook, not just leads, but how to convert them into business as well. And so that's essentially what we do. We help realtors, team leaders, loan officers, brokers generate leads and then teach them how to convert them as well.
Excellent. Yeah, and I have to say, you know, I was guilty of being one of those people that spent obscene amounts of money every month on Zillow and Truly to get leads that way. In the 3 years, about 3.5, 4 years since we kind of knew each other through the Joshua Smith coaching program.
Yep.
Since, you know, I've been using his techniques, and more importantly, since I started taking your, I was one of the first people that signed up for your training. Since I've been implementing that, I haven't paid a dime to any of those other, you know, third-party companies, and I've had my 3 best years in the real estate business, and I was on my way to having my 4, doing the same thing this year until
till it all went down. No.
Right? But yeah, so I have to say it's been an absolute game changer, and you know, the way that you teach people and explain the process and really break it down, because it is kind of a steep learning curve. But once you know what you're doing, it really makes a huge difference, and cost per lead acquisition is dirt cheap compared to what you'd have to spend for another company to do it. So
yeah, and it's crazy because that, I mean, you touched on that, right? Like how simple. Like for me, when I broke down, when I was like, all right, because I had gone through other courses and was learning from one of my best friends, and I'm like, all right, well, like how can I make this so stupid simple, right? Because it is a learning curve. There is a lot in Facebook that you could touch and click and press, and you're like, am I doing the right thing? Like, but my vision of it was like, step by step, this is exactly what you do, and that's it, right? Keep it stupid simple, right? And that is, it was my vision was to do that, right? Is to break it down so small, not have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours worth of content. Have, hey, here's one specific topic, here's another specific topic, and there may be 10 minutes max, right? And so you're absolutely correct. Like you could get bombarded in the know-how instead of actually implementing. So,
yep, absolutely. And I guess touching on the clientele that you work with people all over the country too, because you know the thing that I hear a lot is, well, that wouldn't work in my market, but really the same techniques. Have you found any place in the U.S. or Canada that where what you do doesn't work? I mean,
nope.
Yeah.
The only thing that is different is the price per lead. That's it.
Right.
The only thing that's different. But it goes, I mean, but it's all relative, right? If you're in a market that's 1 million and up, right? I mean, you're making, you know, 25,000 to 30,000 per commission, right? If, you know, and up. If you're somewhere in a $100,000 market, you know, then obviously the cost per lead should be lower, right? And not necessarily the cost per lead, but the cost per acquisition, right? The cost that it actually, the amount it actually costs you to get that lead into a closing. And so, yeah, so there's not a market in the United States that this does not work for. It's just what you're going to have to pay per lead.
Right, exactly. And I guess, you know, and that's kind of the trap that agents fall into is generating leads where, you know, I think we're both on the same page where generating leads is extremely simple. It's the follow-up where, you know, that most agents don't do. And I know that you're part of what you do is just doing that lead follow-up, and you've got a whole program as far as that goes as well. And that's really where you're going to make your money is being consistent and following up with the leads that you do generate. So what advice do you have as far as that goes?
Yeah, so it always starts with mindset, right? Understanding that leads are never an issue. You could put marketing out. I mean, there's a reason there's Zillow, Realtor.com, ZBuyer, Homes.com, Facebook ads, right? There's agencies out there selling you. There's OpCity. Like, there's a reason why there are all these companies. And the reason is because leads are never an issue. I think, what was it? Zillow in 2018 or 19 had like 120 something million leads come through their website. But we only sold in 2019 5.34 million homes. And they say that 40% of the leads actually go unresponded to. That's a lot of leads. So just knowing that the mindset of leads are never an issue, it's always a follow-up, and understanding that you should never put any money into something if you don't have the system to actually convert it into money. Meaning, you shouldn't generate leads from Zillow, you shouldn't pay Zillow, you shouldn't pay Realtor.com, you shouldn't put any money into Facebook, you shouldn't even pay my company if you can't put a systematic follow-up process in place that you'll actually follow through with to actually convert those leads. Because just putting money out to Facebook and getting leads into your system and putting them on a drip campaign and hoping that, fingers crossed, somebody's going to reach out to me, it's not going to happen. Could you get lucky? Absolutely. But just knowing that your mindset that you will have to pick up a phone call. Now, are there things that you can do to eliminate how many phone calls you're making? Absolutely. But just understanding that you are going to have to pick up the phone call, and it doesn't matter what lead source you're doing. It's the only way for you to convert leads. So just knowing that leads are never an issue. It always starts with your follow-up.
Yep, absolutely. And I think what I found with with Facebook leads or any kind of online leads, really, whether it be Facebook or in the past with Zillow or Realtor.com, they're typically about 6 months out from on average from actually being a buyer. And what was it, the amount of reach outs that you have to make to actually have a contact with a online lead was like the average is like 18 contacts.
Yep.
So
yeah. So that's the thing. Like, I hear this all the time. Like, oh, if you don't call your lead in the first 30 seconds, you're 88% less likely to convert them. I call bullshit on that, right? I've seen time and time again. I have my own data with hundreds of thousands of leads coming through our system, that it doesn't matter if you call in the first 5 seconds or the first 5 months. If your timing is right with them and your messaging to understand time frame, motivation, and you're not trying to sell them on why they should have an appointment with you right now, they will know, like, and trust you and do business with you. So what we teach is how to automate a lot of your follow-up process, because it does, like, it's on average, it's 12 to 18 touches, right? It's probably more to the 18 touches.
Yeah.
But the reason why it's that high is because the messaging is not right? You're not asking the right questions to the consumer. And that's where we've changed up a lot of our messaging. And so what we've done is put a process in place where we use text message heavy on the front end, so to eliminate the amount of phone calls that you have to make. Because who wants to make 18 phone calls for every single lead that comes in?
Right.
Get 100 leads a month. That's 1,800 phone calls, not in a month, but that's 1,800 phone calls on average that you'll have to make to get one conversation. Right. So touches is not just a phone call. It could be 18 touches, could be email, text message, another Facebook ad that they go out and see of some content or something like that. So with that being said, yeah, it is that. And so that study that was done was really done for sales service-based in general. Yeah, real estate is service-based, but service-based in the fact of like gyms and car insurance and, health insurance, stuff that it's like, oh shit, like they're actively searching, they're going to make a purchase today, right? So just keeping that in mind, that if you decide to start generating leads online, right, having inbound leads coming in, whether it's Zillow, Realtor.com, Facebook, OpCity, wherever, understanding that you need to have a system in place. And it doesn't have to be calling them and stopping what you're doing and calling them in the first 5 seconds, right? You can set up automation to handle a lot of the upfront lifting, so that when you are out working with clients and out showing properties, when you're allowed to in today's day, right? When you're out showing properties, you can give your buyers and sellers the undivided attention that they deserve, right? You don't have to stop. Oh, my phone rang. Let me go take this call real quick, right? You don't have to worry about the phone. New lead. Oh, like rushing to get through things. No, you know that your system is working and you can just put yourself into that system at some point. So that is what we're doing. And yes, so to answer your question, 18 touches is definitely a realistic number, but just understanding that doesn't have to be manually done by you.
Right. And that's all. And, the typical agent doesn't have, anywhere close to the kind of system that you're talking about. And I think that's like part of what makes your company so brilliant is the fact that you've got it all set up, ready to go. And to the point where somebody that engages with one Facebook ad you have it set up to where they're just put into a pipeline and based off what they do with one ad, they see a certain other ad too. I mean, but it's all automated. It's already set up to just automatically happen, which is pretty amazing. So
yep, call it evergreen. Do something once and it always works.
Exactly. So obviously with all the craziness that's going on right now, I know part of what you do is set appointments for other agents. What's been your experience with actually getting appointments set for your clients?
It's been crazy, man. So we've seen an increase in about 5 to 6% of booked appointments, right? Meaning that from lead to conversation to booked appointment has gone up to almost 15%, right? So it was at 10% roughly, meaning that of every lead that we generated and had a conversation with, we would book 10% of those leads into an appointment. And it's actually gone up. Now, of course, we're not booking in-person appointments unless they have a conversation, they want to go see properties, and you're in a, our clients are in a market. But it really comes down to educating the consumer, right? And finding what motivation that they actually have to want to speak to you now, right? Because buyers are still going to buy and sellers are going to still sell, right? In 2009, 4.34 million homes were sold, and arguably one of the worst 3 years in real estate history. And then you have 2019, 5.34 million homes were sold. So just knowing that buyers are always going to buy, sellers are always going to sell is huge, right? It goes back to the mindset thing. So just understanding that you are going to handle different objections, but more people are home. So the cost per lead is lower and the conversation rate is higher, right? So when we have a higher conversation rate of almost 40%, you're going to naturally have an influx in appointments.
Yep.
And so, that's what we're seeing in the marketplace. And again, when we're speaking to these consumers, we're not debating when the coronavirus is going to go away, because nobody knows.
Right.
Not even the scientists, not even the doctors. So not getting into, why, they should be buying now, or the coronavirus is going to be gone in 6 months. Do you want to wait till then? But you shouldn't getting into the why and how about the coronavirus, more of what we can do in solving a problem that they may have, or a fear-based objection, right? Understanding if that fear-based objection is relevant or irrelevant, right? If it's, I just lost my job and I don't know if I can afford something, that's a relevant fear-based objection, right? Or you have an irrelevant one, which is, what's a perfect one? We had an example of one the other day from our ISA Hector. But an irrelevant one right now is, I think I may lose my job, right? That is something that you can't control. Now, what happens in 3 months when you don't lose your job, or if you don't lose your job?
Right.
It's going to take you probably that long to get it pre-approved, find the house, and really make that purchase. You may even get pre-qualified now, but have to wait till this is all gone, till the banks start lowering their overlays on their financing, right? Meaning, hey, FHA is 580 credit score, but an overlay in the bank says you have to have 670, right?
Right.
It's the bank adding on the restrictions on top of restrictions, right? So you may have to wait that out. Wouldn't you want to find out now, right? Or asking them if that was something. I understand that, but let me ask you: if you didn't lose your job or didn't have that thought that you may be losing your job, and you found the perfect property below market value, ready to go, and we could get you into that home in the next 30 days, would that be something that you'd want to do? Of course they're going to say yes, right? If they truly are interested in a home, right? So just understanding there's irrational and rational, relevant or irrelevant. I probably should just say rational or irrational objection. So just being able to decipher the two, right? That's the biggest thing that we've been able to do. And just, again, not pushing people, it's not like you would never talk about church and state, right? Like you shouldn't, because everyone has their different view, right? So same thing there, not having a conversation with them about what's going on.
Right. And yeah, I mean, I've kind of found the same thing in my personal experience of, I think when we first had the lockdown, when that first started for, a couple weeks there, people didn't know what to do because we're like right in the middle of prime selling season. And then all of a sudden we can leave their house. I've found that my clients have adjusted to virtual showings extremely quickly. In fact, I'm working with a buyer right now where, I mean, they're just totally fine with it. Just do the Zoom right through the house, call it, write an offer if they like it. And I was hesitant to put houses on the market right at first, but I've listed 2 last week. I've got 2 more that are hitting the market this week, and none of them are, we're not allowing anybody through the house. It's all going to be virtual tours, Zoom, you name it, and a ton of photos. And it seems like it doesn't matter. Buyers are totally comfortable with that.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, hey, if they're not, then you write a contingent offer upon seeing the property, right?
Yep.
If the offer is accepted, it's contingent upon actually laying eyes on the property. And at that point, it gives your sellers and the buyers, it gives the sellers necessarily the peace of mind that people aren't just going to be coming through their home, but that they actually do have serious buyers when they make that offer, right? And vice versa for the buyers. And I don't know if that's what you guys are doing in your market, but that's what I would do down here is I just make it contingent upon actually seeing the home, right?
Oh yeah.
And I only say that because I wouldn't want, and I wouldn't want anyone to come back and be like, oh, well, I bought this home and you did the virtual tour and didn't show this, and this.
Right, exactly.
And then same thing, like you have to have the inspection done, right, for insurance purposes, stuff like that. So in the end, you all go at the same time. Seller leaves, they sanitize it. Yep. But as a seller, like we talk about value proposition all the time, like as a listing agent, great. As soon as they're done, we're going to pay somebody to come in and professionally sanitize the home.
Yep.
Right. Cause it'll be there for a while. Like something like what it comes down to, right. You said, oh, I had that mindset at first, but it really comes down to what problem are you solving? And you had the mindset of like, oh, I don't think buyers are going to want to come, but then you figured out solutions that they're okay with.
Yep, absolutely.
And I think that's going to be the new norm, because if you could tell a buyer, hey, Mr. Buyer or Seller, I'm going to preview all of the homes for you, get you on a Zoom call, which now they're all used to.
Yeah.
Before, people were like, what the hell is Zoom? I'm going to get you on a Zoom call or a FaceTime or whatever. I'm going to walk the property for you. And then you only have to go drive around and see properties that you actually like via video, via the tour.
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, I'm reaching out to somebody up in Nashville, like, hey, go show me this property.
Yeah.
I don't want to fly out there right now just to see it. You know what I mean? Right. If I see it in the video, then I'll make that decision. So it's same concept, right? So yeah, I think that's going to be the new norm. So, but again, you went from that mindset of, oh, I don't think we should put it on, to like, no, like we have to continue promoting our business, and those sellers are going to, whether it's with you, they may go with somebody else, right? But just having that solution to their problems.
Yep. And the technology out there is so advanced now, like, with the listings that I'm doing, you know, that Matterport 3D virtual tour is almost like being in the house. It's such a cool feature.
Yep.
That, you know, between that and I mean, you really, you know, you don't need to really go see. You're right. You don't need to go see all these houses in person. And I think you're right. I think moving forward, I think that's going to be more of the norm.
I think it's gonna be. I think it really will, because I don't think, you know, my opinion is coronavirus may be around for a while. People may have fear of that. Sellers may realize, oh shit, I don't have to have people come into my house to buy it. Why would I want to open the door to them?
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know, so I think there is going to be a shift in the market as far as how we do business. You know, but the one thing you won't be able to take away, and I always told this to my clients, was when you walk in the door, you're going to know that that's the property for you. And I truly do believe that. But I do believe with good video, good photography, you know, a good virtual tour, like, hey, this is step back, like this is what you see when you're here and then here and live. You'll know. I think you'll really know. Yep. Like you'll get that kind of the same feeling.
Right, exactly. And I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but just kind of, you know, before we let you go, what advice do you have for agents that are, you know, trying to figure out what they're doing, you know, what route they should be going at this point?
For me, and I follow this from, and I'm going to steal this quote from Ryan Serhant: expand always in all ways, right? Expand always in all ways, right? And so what that means is, like, at any time, you're always expanding, you're always growing your market share, you're always trying to take over a market. And now is the perfect time for that, because every other agent, the typical agent, is retracting and, oh, I don't want to go, I don't want to risk getting sick. And that is on them. Maybe they have enough money saved away. But for me, I'm always looking at opportunities. With uncertainty comes opportunity. And I'm always looking for opportunity to overtake the marketplace and become a known brand in my market. And so for me, I would say do something. It doesn't have to be paid advertising, but do something. Create a Facebook group for neighborhoods, for your community. Reach out to all your people that follow you on Facebook. Start doing Facebook Live. Start doing content videos, putting them out there, right? And understanding that there are still going to be people that need to buy and sell homes, but sitting on your couch, eating potato chips and donuts and I don't know. I'm just naming food because I'm really hungry. You know, just sitting on your couch doing nothing, watching Tiger King, or binge watching Ozark is not going to grow and scale your business. And if you're not willing to go out and actually do business, at least take this downtime to learn a new skill. Do something. Do something. That's my advice. Do something. Find what you like and do something. Right? For me, I like growing and scaling my business. So that's my something.
Yep, I hear you there, man. So that's cool, man. I really appreciate it. You joining me for this, man. It's awesome. It's been a great conversation. If anybody wants to get a little bit more information about Optimized Real Estate, how do they get in contact with you?
Go to Optimized Real Estate. Actually, take this back. go.optimizedrealestate.com/leads.
Awesome. Yep. Sounds good, man. So once again, Brett Ratkowski, thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your day, and thank everybody for checking this out, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, bro.
Thanks, man.